So what's going on, guys? I'm back and I wanted to tell you about my experience with the Arlen Ness Big Brake upgrade so far. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you today about my experience with the Arlen Ness Big Brake upgrade. It's been a few hundred miles that I put on this brake, with a mix of about 50-50 city and highway. My daily commute is... So my initial judgment on the brakes as far as how they felt and everything has changed. I believe I said they were a little... It felt like it was a little harder to brake, which I think I mistook that feeling for firmness, if that makes any sense. There's no change in any of the actual brake parts or anything other than the size of the rotor. But it just feels better. It feels, in my opinion, like it should. There's a little bit more braking power, as there should be, as physics. Overall, it's just a better braking experience. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I tend to brake with usually one or two fingers. Usually it's my middle finger. So any little change in braking power, I feel like I'm going to notice because I'm only using the one. So with that being said, I do feel a little bit of an increase in power, especially at low speeds. I'm not the kind of person that brakes hard a lot. I'm not a late braker. I tend to be fairly good at judging distances, so I can feather the brake pretty well. Now, I did have to stop short a few times, and by a few times I mean like once or twice during the time that I've had this brake on so far. And I feel like the stopping distance and braking power has all improved. It's hard to say without comparing side by side. Obviously, I'm not going to take one off, put it on, and do that a bunch of times in a row. So if my memory is any good, this new brake is better. And if I were to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, or perfect, I would have to give it about a 9. And that's based on everything, really. That's taking into account, one, the easy installation. That's always a bonus. Not only the easy installation, but the performance, and the performance along with the looks and the ease of installation all has to fit within a decent price. And I feel like you're getting all these little benefits for the right price. I don't remember how much exactly I paid for it. I want to say $260. I'm not sure. I'll put that up on the screen, and I'll also put a link in the description so you can check that out for yourself. I also have a little how-to on installation and my first impressions. I'll also put a link in the description so you can check that out. Like I said, the installation is super easy. Just basic hand tools. The only oddball tool was the Allen wrench that you would need to get the axle out, and that was, I think it was a 16 millimeter Allen. I couldn't find it. I know a lot of people had a problem finding that, but what I found was the 5/16 size will fit it perfectly. A little bit of slop, but it's such a big hex that a little bit's okay, and you're not torquing the hell out of it, so even better. Yeah, all in all, on a scale 1 to 10, I give it a 9. if I had the, if I had to do it all over again, I definitely would. I think it's worth the money. A little bit of performance, a lot better looking. So yeah, that's my final verdict. It's awesome. Oh, here's a cool thing. So, I think I may have mentioned it in another video. Actually, I know I did, and it was when I was talking about handlebars. I had said how these 3 fingers fall asleep. My index finger, my middle finger, and my thumb. And now that I think about it, it's about half of my my ring finger. I looked it up real quick. I was like, what is carpal tunnel? Maybe it's carpal tunnel. Sure enough, it is, and it's exactly what I just described. It's your forefinger, your middle finger, and your half of your ring finger. And by half, it's weird. It's like the left side of my ring finger. It's really weird feeling when you sit and think about it. And my thumb is also numb. So it's carpal tunnel syndrome. Yay. And I am not really sure what I could do about that, because the only time it happens is when I'm on the bike. Although I did mention that it didn't happen with my other gloves. So maybe it has something to do with these gloves. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little test. I thought it was only because it was cold in the morning and maybe I had like a death grip on the throttle or something. I don't know. But it is still going numb. It's annoying as hell. And I gotta figure out what to do about it. Ah, turkey! So that's about it for now. I just wanted to give you a little update on the Arlen Ness Big Brake upgrade. It's awesome. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention too is the brake pad wear I had mentioned. It looked like it wasn't grabbing as far inward on the disc as I thought it should be. And I figured that might take a little bit of time, only because it has the shape of the old disc in it. So it's worn down and it looks better. I think it's partly an optical illusion due to the scalloping around the edge. So everything's sitting well. So I'm happy. All in all, if you're thinking about it, you should just get one, because it's pretty badass and it looks badass. Oh, and if anybody has any sort of suggestion about carpal tunnel and your throttle, let me know, because this kind of sucks. I'm gonna have to I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, let me know, because this sucks. Alright. I'm gonna go play around and figure out whatever detours that sign was talking about. So, until then, I will see you later.